part 2 of Algebra 2, lesson 68 and 69. Question number 10. Did I not post it? All right, let me hit pause here and, all right. Try this again. Lesson 68 and 69, part 2. A cooler contains 5 bottles of orange juice, 6 bottles of apple juice, 4 bottles of grape juice. Okay, Janice randomly selects a bottle from the cooler. David randomly selects a bottle from the cooler. What's the probability that both Janice and David will select orange juice? Express your answer. Let's see, I'm going to find my paper here. Express your answer as a percent. Show your work. Okay. All right, let me get over here. All right, we want to know what is the probability that both of them will select orange juice. Are they going to put the orange juice back after they've selected it? No, probably not. Okay. So let's talk about Janice, okay? Because first, Janice randomly selects a bottle from the cooler. Probability is number desired over number total. We want orange juice. How many orange juices are there? 5 bottles of orange juice. Okay. What kind of number goes on the bottom? Okay. As a type of number, we're talking about total. So 5 plus 6 plus 4, right? Looks like 15. Correct? Okay. Okay, so we got 5/15. All right, now David's going to come along. Okay, what's his probability? How many orange juices are left, considering if she got one? 4 over 14. All right, what's 5/15 times 4/14? Reduces to what? 2 over 21. All right, give that to me as a decimal. So like 0.095. 0.095. Convert that over to a percent. So move my decimal place 2 places over to the right. We have 9.5% chance. Not a very big chance, but it is a chance. They have a 9.5% chance of both of them getting an orange juice. Yeah. Aren't you glad you know that now? Aren't you glad? All right, B. Assume that both Janice and David selected the orange juice. After drinking these juices, Janice and David randomly picked 2 more bottles from the cooler. What is the percent probability that neither will pick grape juice? All right, so they make this a little bit tougher because we don't want them to get grape juice. So everything else besides grape juice is a preferred, right? Is a desired. But also, this happens after they've already drank the 2 orange juices. So do we still have 15 bottles of juice? What are we down to? 13. We're down to 13. 9 are not grape juice. All right, now we're talking, let's see. He's only got 8 left that aren't grape juice, right? And only 12, so we got 9/13 times 8/12. What do we get? 6/13, right? 6/13. You reduce that on down. What do you get? What is the percent? You said 4.6%? 46%. 46%. It came out as 0.46. You're going to get it. So they have a much better chance of not getting grape juice, right, than they do of both getting orange juice. Okay, then. All right, 11. 11, the table shows the results of a survey that asked students from the 3 grade levels to pick their favorite fruit from those listed. All right, we want to find the probability of banana. Banana. Okay? All right, let's see. I'm looking at this one here. We want banana for 10th grade, right? That's this 10th. So we're following this. I believe what we're doing is we're following this column right here. All right, so what we want is this. Banana, the probability banana out of the 10th grade.
10.
Well, desired is what?
10.
10, right? Out of what? What am I adding?
10th grade column.
So 19, 8, 18, and 10. Is it 56?
55.
55, 10 out of 55. Right? We want that as a percent. Come on.
18%.
It doesn't say, but we should be 18.2%. Right? I know it doesn't say to the nearest tenth, but that's what their answer key shows. Okay? All right, let's move on over here to number 12. We got the spinner questions. Suppose two spinners are shown. Each spun once. Find a probability that the first spinner lands on a number that is greater than 2, and the sum of the spinners is less than 8. All right, this gets a little bit more complex, right? Well, let's deal with it one at a time. Okay? We want the first spinner to land on something that is greater than 2. Greater than 2, not equal to 2. So how many options do I have? I've got 2 options, right? Okay? 2 options that are greater than 2. You got 3 and 4. Okay? Let's see. And so that's 2 out of 4. That's 1/2. You got half probability there. Find a probability that the first spinner lands on a number that is greater than 2. And the sum of the spinners is less than 8. All right. I don't know. I've got a lot of crazy work being shown here, so we'll see if this matches up. Okay. So let's consider this. The first spinner has to be greater than 2, right? All right, which means I can only get 3 or 4, right? So if I get a 3, we want the next spinner's number to add up less than 8. So 3 plus 1, right, would be less than 8, correct? So we could get 3, 1. We could get, in fact, we could get any 3, right? So there's 4 options there, correct? 4 options. All right, but 4 only has how many options? 3, right? Because 4 plus 1 is 5, 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 plus 3 is 7, but 4 plus 4 is 8, which is not less than 8, right? So we've got 3 options. So we should have, 7? 7 possibilities? Okay. So we've got 7, let's see, what do we come out to? Out of a total of, now you have to find out how many actual total possibilities there are, right? 7 desired, and I think you end up with like 16. What's that? Let me see what their final answer out to. What you end up getting out of this is 7/16. And so it's kind of a weird deal. In fact, this is what my work shows for this. All right, so we can get, for the 2 spinners shown below, each find the probability that the first spinner lands on a number that's greater than 2. So we can get 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. Okay, because what it wants you to list is actually all the possibilities that work, which are 7, but there are actually 16 possibilities overall, right? 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, and then 3, 4. All right, so there are 7 possibilities that work, but for every one, there's 4 over on the other side, which means there's 16. 7/16 comes out to a certain percentage. What does that come out to? 43.75%. Sorry, I kind of messed that up. Do you guys understand how we got 7/16? Yes or no? Got it? Okay. All right. Number 13. Find the absolute value of the number -5 minus 3i. What do I do here? Square root? Square root of what?
5.
Which is it? -5 squared. Okay, except without the question mark. Okay. All right, but we're going to put a plus there, -3 squared. All right. Simplify. What's -5 squared? 25. -3 squared. Okay, so I'm getting square root of 34. Now to make sure, let's see if 34 can be taken out. We're getting what, 2 and 17? 2 and 17, well, that's not going to reduce, right? So we're just left with square root of 34. Okay, square root of 34. Those are pretty easy, correct? Okay, good. Correct. All right, last a couple of questions here, 14 and 15. 5I to the 40th. Question, is 40 divisible by 4? Yeah. So that I to the 40th equals what? So 5 times 1 is? The answer is 5. It is in this particular one. The answer was always probably, I mean, your options there are 5, -5, or you might get like a -5I or a 5I. You don't really have 4 possibilities to go with there. Okay, so we understand why we get 5 for that. Everybody's got it? Okay. I'm kind of interested in trying, like, I want to try a random one with you because we kind of got time. Let's try 5I. Somebody give me like a 2-digit number. 22? 22. All right, so 5I to the 22nd. Okay, so this is what I want you to think about here. Take those and break them up into groups of 2, because 22 is not divisible by 4, is it? No? Okay, well that tells me it's probably going to be, in fact it's going to be 11 sets, correct? 11 sets of 2, where each of those sets of 2 is equal to what? -1, right? I squared is equal to -1. So because, you know, if it had been 24, it would have been equal to 1, right? Because 24 is divisible by 4. So I should get -5 as an answer there. Does that make sense? All right, you could try it with a negative number, say like -27, or not -27, but just 5I to the 27th. Okay, so you got 27 i's across there, but for 26 of them, you have pairs of 2's, right? So that's 13 pairs of 2's, correct? -5. So -5I, because that 26 is going to be equal to -1, so that's -1 times 5, but you have 1 I left over, so this is going to be equal to -5I. All right, so let me see if I can, and this was what, I to the 27th? Okay, let me see if your calculator will actually do some of this for you. I hate to even show this to you because I don't want you to just to cheat all the time, but if I write 5 I to the 27th, it's not really giving it to you the way that I'd like to see it, but it does come out as -5I there. Let's try 5I to the 40th. See if it gives it to you as 5. Yep, gives it to you as 5. Okay, so your calculator will do some of that. Did you guys see how to plug in I? No? All right, second period. Okay, that's where you're getting that I from. Okay? All right, let's move on from there. Let's do our last question. 4 plus 8I. Divide 4 plus 8I by 6I. Write your answer in the form A plus BI. So what we have is 4 plus 8I divided by 6I. Now because this is a complex number, I can't divide by a complex number. If I'm dividing by a complex number, I have to rationalize that. And that's done by multiplying by the conjugate of that. If you remember, we did that with our square roots in the denominator, right? So this means multiplying by the conjugate, so multiplying by -6I. All right, top and bottom, because I have to, on both there. Okay, so now we distribute. So 4 times -6I is -24I, and 8I times -6I. Well, what's 8 times -6? -48. So here's the thing. It's -48I squared. What do we know I squared to be? -1. What's -48 times -1?
48.
Positive 48. So I end up writing positive 48 here. Okay? And 6I times -6I is -36I squared, so it is positive 36. All right? Now I can reduce this, right? So I'm getting, let's see. Well, yeah, I'm going to divide that on down, and so I should get something like, what, negative 2/3?
4/3.
Negative 24 divided by 36? Yeah, okay, so, but yeah, so we would flip this so that we are in this format. So we would get 4/3, minus 2/3 I.
Good job.
Way to go, team. And break at the bell. Okay. All right, we're going to hit stop there. You guys can watch the rest of that video for some of the other questions.